Welcome everyone to your weekly energy update where we're looking at the week of October 2nd through October 9th. This week we have a lot going on in the planets. October 2nd, we actually have Mercury leaving its full retrograde and going into its post shadow. So yay! It'll be in the post shadow all the way until October 18th when it goes direct. And it is a period of reviewing. Now last week's energy update, we did already talk about the Mercury retrograde and this post-shadow period that's starting to come up. So if you want to find out what you learned around communication during this last Mercury retrograde, check out last week's video because it is going to give you information that'll last through October 18th. We also have October 8th this week. Pluto is joining the post-shadow parade, and that is a planet of like grow or die. It's the death, the rebirth, and it's the energy of transformation, like the phoenix that's rising from the ashes. That's the main energy we're going to look at for this week. Although we also have the next day on October 9th is going to be a full moon in Aries, but we'll cover more of that in next week's energy update since that will be from October 9th through the following Sunday as well. So because we're going to be looking at the Pluto post-shadow energy, Pluto retrograde was a time to reflect on what ended, what burnt down, and now we're starting to make our way up and out of those ashes. And so for this reading, we're going to ask, what does the spirit realm want us to know about our rebirth? What's this new creation that we've become? So, of course, we have readings for each individual zodiac sign, and we're going to jump into yours right now. All right, Leos, this is your weekly energy update. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Messenger Oracle. Any of the cards that I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. So if any of them catch your eye and you'd like them for yourself, you know where you can pick those up. So we'll start with this deck and we'll see where Creator and Spirit, what they want you to know about this rebirth, about this new creation that you have become through this Pluto retrograde. All right, so for all our Leos, what would you like them to know, please? Okay, I do want this one right here. You've got the change is unavoidable. It's a beautiful card there. I'll just put that here and let's see what they want you to know about that. Change, right? The only thing that is for certain is change. And it says change is unavoidable. Every second of every day you undergo change. Your perception is altered by what you see, feel, and experience from one moment to the next. Your body ages and moves closer to death with every breath. Autumn will always come to end the bounty of summer, and the new hope of spring will always follow the winter. Change is all around you. Do not let your fear bind you to the past and prevent you from enjoying your present and your future. Stop fighting. You cannot resist the inevitable, so choose instead to embrace it with acceptance and peace. I really like that. So you definitely, of course, have learned through this period of time here of, what is it? It's the, for AA, it's the, know the difference between what you can change and what you cannot, right? And if you can't do anything about it, then only thing you can do is change your attitude about it, change your approach to it. What else did someone says is the only problem you have about your problem is that you think you have a problem. It's like you don't have to think that you have a problem. Well, let's take a look here. We're also going to pull here from the Earth Magic Oracle cards. Let's see what else they'd like to add into here about change and that you're embracing of the change here. So what else for our Leos, please? What else would you like them to know? Okay, they do want that one right here. And you've got ceremony, invocation. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll put that right here. And let's see what they tell you about ceremony and how that is relevant to these changes. It is in sacred ceremony that we have one of the greatest opportunities to experience communion with Source, one where the perceived dualities of both heaven and earth merge into an experience of the divine. Through the use of sacred pieces that have become imbued with spiritual significance, we bring forth ceremony catalyzed by clear intention and preparation. Sacred ceremony is prayer in action. In this image, a woman kneels before an altar where a number of crystals are placed, light emanating from her hands. We see incense burning, snake spirits rest nearby, and various ethereal beings appear in a wispy shroud of light around her head. All the while, the tapestry upon which she sits appears to be on fire, symbolizing the fiery passion brought on by the intense focus of spirit that has been invoked for this ceremony. Calling spirit forth in this way facilitates a direct and heartfelt sense of relatedness to Source. It goes on to say, whether through indifference, depression, life crisis, or any other manifestation of mental, emotional, or physical blockages, you may have drifted from the intimacy with spirit for which you yearn. It's important to do what you can to regain an experience of spiritual power that is contained within you and all around you. Do so by conducting a ceremony, one that involves not only spirit, but also material objects you consider sacred. Set up an altar in a convenient area that is apart from your usual living space. Start with representations of the four major elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and then add just a few sacred objects. Set your intention for the ceremony, such as whether the purpose is for healing, for celebration, or honoring a particular earth season or cycle. Then do an invocation to call upon your spirit guides. Breathe their presence and ask these divine beings to guide you through the process. Trust their guidance. Feel your heartbeat and keep breathing. Breath is the key to the actual experience of spirit, and creating a ceremony is the vehicle that supports this. And I like this combination because what I'm really feeling strongly is that with change, do we trust that it's for us, or do we feel like it's happening to us? If we feel it's happening to us, then we've drifted away, like it said, from spirit, and we're out in the fear world. We're fearing punishment. We're fearing that something we've done is causing this to happen to us. Rather than when we're connected in ceremony with the higher realms, we understand that everything is so well laid out for us that any experience we have is for our highest experience here on the planet. It's not something that we're being punished for. And so when we can trust that, and we can trust spirit, that's what transforms our experience. I kind of feel like that's what you learned going through this Pluto retrograde, and you'll continue to learn. We're also going to pull here from the Runic Tarot and just find out what else Creator wants all of you Leos to know about this ceremony and the change. Embracing the change, being grateful for the change. Again, knowing it's happening for you, right? So what else for our Leos? What else would you like them to know? Okay, what else? Okay, what else? Okay, these two. What else? Okay, that one. All right. You have the Lover's card that popped out here. So your first card we're going to look at is the one that made itself known. And it's so funny because the Lover's card is known as the Power of Emotional Choice card. It basically says that within every moment, you have an emotional choice to either choose an emotion that's related to the fear of losing conditional love, life is happening to you, or a love that is connected to the higher realms, that is rooted in unconditional love, that the universe is on your side. It has your back. The Creator is doing things for you. And so this is this beautiful emotional power of choice that you have learned through this process. And so this is definitely reiterating what we were talking about. And then we'll go to this one next, which is the Tower, which is all about when something's removed out of your life, it's being removed for you. So this Tower, again, all of this is such a strong, clear message that whatever is removed or destroyed or burnt down, that whole death and rebirth, rising from the ashes that we talked about in the intro, this is this. When, something happens, we have all these fated events that have been designed that our higher self wanted to experience through this human avatar that we are. And even within each fated event, though, we have the power to choose what story we want to put around it, like what it means, and also what emotion we want to feel as we go through it. But when all these fated events are happening, when there's this event, that in order for us to experience the next fated event that we want to have happen, this needs to be removed. And that's what this burning down is. This thing being removed out of our life for us so that we can experience the next thing. So if you did experience great loss or great endings during this, Pluto retrograde that's been going on for several months, now that you're going into the shadow period, you're reflecting on it and you can see how did it benefit you? How could it have been for you? Why would you have asked for this experience? And that's what this is asking you. Then you have the King of Swords. Yep, swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. That Ace of Swords here allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, such as everything happens for you, allows you to look into your mind and those beliefs and those thoughts that you might have had around this loss or this thing happening to you, and how you can transform it and understand it differently now that you have this higher knowledge that's coming in about that it's happening for you, for you, for you. Then you have the King of Cups. So very strong energies coming in here. You've got 2 major arcana and 2 royalty now. King of Cups is the ruler over your emotions, of course, but all the kings, in addition to ruling over their own element, get a dose of air. So this King of Swords is double air. This is half air, half water. So this is about the balancing of your heart and your mind coming in as well. Not always looking and trusting, the mentalness, those opinions. So, we talked about the power of choice, right? This is you having this power over your emotions, on what you want to feel in each moment as you go through it. And the King of Swords is you're in charge of the story that you apply around something happening. What does that mean about me or the world or the other person? You get to decide. And this is showing both of these, that you're in the seat of power for your stories and your emotions. And then you have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is fours are, I was wondering if a 4 was going to come up here. It's happening for you. And the Pentacles is about your relation to your worth and your abundance to the outside world. And the Four of Pentacles is a great transformation. Look how everything's burning down out there, but it's Tower removing things out of there. And it's because one of the big lessons this person learns is that when they looked outside of themselves for their worth, they found that their worth felt unstable because they looked in things like relationships, situations, and things like our bodies, and those things were unstable. Of course, relationships, people change or they pass away. Situations like job, education, social status, things like that we can get ourselves into, those things never stay the same. And then things like our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, those break down, deteriorate, are stolen or burned down, and then they're all unstable. So they end up out of disappointment, turning us inward, where we find our true worth, which is connected to the, basically this Ace of Cups, this King of Cups realizes. It's the unconditional love of the Creator of all things on the other side. It's unconditional because there's not even one condition for you to have it, one condition that you can lose it. And there's also, it's eternal. So it's a very solid, stable foundation that's coming in here. And you realize, again, everything is happening for you, pointing you back to what is most important, to all these beautiful, beautiful knowledge and this love that you find inside you. Then your final card is going to be the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards here. And we're just going to see what is the final message that the Creator has. But I mean, it's very, very clear here that it's all about realizing that change is inevitable, but any change that happens is for us, and we have the power to apply whatever story or emotion we want to any change that comes. So what else for our Leos? Okay, that is your final message here. Come flying out here, and you've got learning to say no. So your power of no, saying no is an act of love. When we say a healthy no to an abusive situation, whether this is in response to another person or to ourselves, we are setting limits and establishing healthy boundaries. A healthy no is saying yes to life. Give yourself permission to say no. And this, I feel, is a huge change for you in what you have been learning and growing through too, is that, saying no to the old ways of thinking, the old ways of feeling around a situation, that when they start to rise up, that you can go, no, that's my old habit, the old stories, my habit of saying this is what that means when that happens, or this is how I'm supposed to feel when I go through that, and I'm going to create a new habit. And I start off by saying no to the old way and focusing on what I do want to believe and how I do want to feel. So very empowering energy. This is like really, really powerful, Leos. So I definitely love this journey for you. Now, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, also clicking the subscribe button, if I can talk, gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, there is an all option. And if you click on that, then you'll be notified of any new videos that do come out from my channel. Doing those things also helps spread the Brother Zen love. And it also helps my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like or share one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, or subscribe to my channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy excited. It wants to automatically share my videos with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, please know I am ever so grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and my recorded personal readings are now on a sliding price scale, which means for all the variety of different recorded readings I offer, you can choose between 3 different price points. So you can choose and have that flexibility for that price that is more in alignment with your budget at the time. So if you're interested in any of that, it's all listed in the description box of this video below. All right, all you mighty roaring Leos, as you go through this amazing adventure, please know every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. We'll be talking very soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.